The gates of mercy is not just a physical location here in the Holy City, but is to me a spiritual location of opening the gate of mercy in the heart itself, the eastern artery of the heart, and that when the gate of mercy flows, which is the divine grace, that anything that's ever been done is forgivable, that we are loved in spite of anything we've ever done. This is the divine love of who we are. This is the knowledge that Christ, when he was crucified, said, "Forgive them, they don't know what they're doing." This is where he became illumined and resurrected. This is the moment we all go through when we go through a crucifixion in our daily life and have to rise above that with a love that is greater than anything else. And that when we get this gate of mercy opened in ourselves, then the water comes. And we know when the heart gets truly opened, not falsely open, but truly open, there's always tears. People always cry when they're touched in the heart, when we're moved so deeply in the heart. And when that grace is showered out from the heart and those waters begin to flow, I consider that the rain, you know, that greens things. That's the greening of the heart and the greening of compassion.
You're a human being. At least in comparison with other animals, you know you're human. So it's best that you strive to take this humanity to its ultimate nature. If your humanity overflows, divinity inevitably happens. If you have not allowed your humanity to reach its peak, divinity is just an empty talk. It's up there. If you allow your humanity to reach its very peak, divinity is a living reality for you.
Don't let anybody kill the love in your heart. When you see the world, see it with the eyes of your heart. Don't see it with the eyes of somebody else. See them with yours.
I also had the beautiful opportunity to hear Desmond Tutu speak about the Truth and Reconciliation process in South Africa, and you think, my goodness, if they can do it in South Africa, you know, I said to myself, what does this mean for Native America? How would we participate in a process like this?
The story of the opening of the heart is a deep, deep science as well as a deep spiritual and psychological mystery. So once we learn collectively that biologically as a planet we have enough force, as it were, to pray, literally to make our hearts beat together, we can create the electric field that holds us together, the heart of the matter, as it were.
The role of humans is essentially to be part of the awakening of spirit in matter, the curators of this living energy in the physical world. And so the sixth sun is the story of that awakening. And when humanity awakens and is heart-centered, they become part of the living biocircuitry of the planet.
Is the heart a portal? Yes, it's a portal. Now, inside the sacred space of the heart is a frequency, a vibration that is spoken about in the Vedas, in Sanskrit, and the Upanishads, and which they call Om. And to the 5,000–6,000 years ago, Om, the meaning of Om, was the frequency that could be felt, sensed, heard, and in some cases even seen within the heart. And that frequency, according to the Upanishads, is older than creation. It is the oldest, closest thing that we can touch God with.
Part of the dilemma we have is that our philosophy and our religious concepts separate us. And so the ancient cultures have a different way of viewing things. So as a Western culture, we're having to incorporate some of the ancient ways in a new or modern context, because sound transcends a lot of of language barriers and cultural context. And the beautiful thing in terms of the brain is that pure sound, we know, activates the non-dominant hemisphere. And so there's a chance to loosen up our perceptual world through sound.
genetic science and biochemists been using 528 Hz frequency in order to heal damaged DNA. It's known also that if the DNA structure dries, it starts to lose its structure. So we hydrate the body. And the best way to hydrate the body is drinking living water. And living water is to do with the hexagonal shaped molecule. We do need to transmit 528 Hz frequency into the water, into our water in the body, or into the water that we drink, in such a way that our body will be properly hydrated.
How do you live a divine life and be human at the same time?
Just follow your heart, your prayers. But leave something in return, you know, before you leave, your prayers. And the simple thing is your gratitude. As women, asquale. As men, kwakwa. Or say it in your own language, you know, your prayers, but that's how we say it here in Hopi, you know. Kwakwa, kwakwa.
Gratitude is the most basic, the most quite beautiful doorway into the numinous and to the divine, into the oneness. Everything begins, that relationship begins with one simple word, and that's thank you.
Open your heart, know truth, be truth.
Shekinah and, for me, the grandmothers, as I know them, are here, as the prophecy said, when the grandmothers speak, the earth will heal. This is the Hopi prophecy. Many Native American prophecies say that all of the tribes will once again be run by women.
Me preguntaron que si curaba.
They asked me if it heals.
Si la rezan con esa intención.
If you pray with that intention,
si se curan.
It does heal.
It's an emotional energy exchange at all times. So if we want our earth to be a safe place to live on, then we have to work with love. It's a very simple interchange. It's not even very profound. It's pure physics.
The grandmother holds the seeds of our grandchildren. So we are a seed within a seed within a seed. That time in the Women's Lodge where you're bleeding, you're connecting back through time and space with your ancestors. All of that bleeding womb power that sits within us as women. So even as grandmothers, we are still connected to the future and the past. We truly are gatekeepers. We stand at the gateway of life and death.
Grandmother wisdom, defiled and dethroned. Forgive younger brother, our vision grows dim. As we seek for the salve, the sad state we're in. From the well of the earth, mix medicine for men's hearts. With a wave of your wand, trace the sign of your art. Moon maiden, bone mother, wise woman, crone, enchantress of space, lift the sword from the stone, and weave a new world on the loom of your fates, as you dispel with your tears all division and hate. Gaia, Sophia,
Babylon, bride, return now, renewed and reborn on the tide.
The Kundalini of the earth now is emitting the new cycle, the new vibration that can be understood mostly better by women. They can feel this new vibration. They know what it is. It's in their hearts. They understand it.
In breath and in beauty, in love freed from duty. She'll take all your poisons and turn them to pleasures. She'll redeem all your toxins and return them as treasures. She's the infinite mantra, the love song of Tantra, and she cries, I am that I am.
For me, the exciting aspect of this prophecy is the fact that we're moving towards a time where the female energy and the female voice will be emerging in all aspects of the planet.
I have this secret longing for women to take over. Women who remember that they are life nurturers. I'm absolutely certain we would see a different world order.
As a culture, I think that we have been over-solarized symbolically at a mythic level, and it's time for the moon, or the feminine, to come into balance to the masculine principle.
You stay in your brain, that's going to be hard. You stay in your heart, no problem. Not any. It'll just be so easy, and it'll be beautiful.
There were those small groups of humans who knew that someday humanity would reemerge in a new and different and a healed way. They did the meditations and the chants, and they kept themselves in a type of trance state, maintaining a connection to the spiritual families. Continuing to hold the dream and the vision of the new earth, a new earth that is coming.
When they do these ceremonies, they're dreaming a new world.
They'd be dreaming an abundant future. They'd be dreaming that the rains would come. They'd be dreaming that there would be plentiful food for their families. That was all of their whole business was about dreaming nature into a perfect state of existence.
The Bushman people are the oldest people on this planet. They're wide open. They just merge with you unconditionally. They carry that unity. These people need to stay. We need them. Without them, we will be lost. As white people, we will be truly lost. They hold the true, authentic vibration of being on this planet.
A storyteller, one who has to know the history of his people, one who has to keep the remembrance of certain laws and practices. It's nothing really of much importance, except that in olden days I would have sat under a tree and told stories when the proper time came. Umlando means the great story. the great thing that must be related without forgetting, without making a mistake.
The dream time is a place beyond our 3D linear world existence. It's a place where everything is related. Oneness, past, present, future as one. Myself and two other Nankris, we had to lay down on our backs and we put our feet up against the tree so our legs are facing up into the sky. And we were told, when we close our eyes, we had to send up a golden cord from our umbilical cord or belly button and send it up to the stars. And once we do that, then we climb up like a spider, travel up. The footprints of our ancestors are embedded in the energies that us dream runners can access, much similar to tracking on the ground.
How do we bring dreaming into existence? Through creativity, through being untethered in yourself and unafraid to be able to be exactly what's called upon in that moment, whether it be in your darkness or in your light, because it's all our juice. It's all what the collective experience of the dreaming is piecing together through every single one of us in every single moment.
That process of dreaming, that process of inquiry, attunes us to the field of that which wants to actually happen. So it's almost a ritual of attunement.
Lead on adventure through time and space. In indescribable way, we face these coming days. In our land of dreams. In our land of dreams.
There is a saying to dream ourselves awake. And as we dream, we find the visions to dream ourselves into a much more awakened state of being. We can dream a whole new world. We have the power to do that. And it's not just to visualize and to see what we want, but to be the vision.
As you begin to trust yourself, it creates a whole new shape and an image and a form of who you are, so that you begin attracting new things to you, that you begin imagining a whole new type of existence here on earth. Imagination is bringing in, feeling, and embodying the energies of the potentials that you are choosing from your heart, brings that to the forefront and makes it more likely to become manifest on earth.
Does that mean that with time growing up, I forget how to dream? I forget how to imagine myself a beautiful, colorful world?
Earth is a seductive place. Having a body, while some of you may not like it, is very seductive. So you're literally drawn back in here lifetime after lifetime because of this intense seduction.
How many of us can truly dream of beauty?
Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table. Who was the main knight? Well, basically Percival. Percival pierced the veil, perceived all, and if you like, Percival is the the metaphor, he was the knight who saw the invisible world and realized that we are not alone.
So we really need to find times where we allow ourselves to imagine again and to dream and to just let the mind expand and open. And for us, the way is through being grounded in the body and the heart present in the body, and then you can let the mind unhook itself.
The principle of this new dimension that we are moving into is, as I think and speak and act and intend, so shall it be. Wow. That means that whatever the future is going to be for you personally is whatever you want it to be. It's total self-responsibility.
Right now, we've dreamt up a scenario where we've got a planet in crisis. That's our collective dream. Now, in order for us to have a planet that's not in crisis, we all need to start collectively dreaming of paradise.
Hence the paramount importance of maintaining the vision of what we would like. A calm land, a calm sea. Because the visions that we put out really influence what is manifested. Hence the importance of being very, very careful of the thoughts and the visions that we putting out there.
And the new dreaming is something that's going to work for all of us. Something that is ancient and connected and real, but also meets these contemporary times right now with all of our diversity. And it's got to be from all of us. It can't come from anyone. It has to come from all of us. And that's the new dreaming. And it's got to be so fun and so creative that it's just like infectious for the whole world, and it just rolls out and people abandon the thoughts of being individuals and truly band together as one.